1. Annuity. 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 A fixed sum of money paid to someone each year. Payment, allowance. Debt. 2. Antidote. 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 A medicine taken to counteract a poison. Remedy, cure. Poison. 3. Elixir. 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 A magical or medicinal potion. Potion cure-all. Poison. 4. Equity. 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 The quality of being fair and impartial. Fairness, justice. Bias. 5. Exigency. 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 An urgent need or demand. Emergency, urgency. Non-urgency. 6. Grimace. 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 An ugly, twisted expression on a person's face. Scowl, frown, smile. 7. Infirmity. 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 Physical or mental weakness. Weakness. Frailty. Strength. 8. Ingrate. 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 An ungrateful person. Thankless person. Unappreciative. Grateful person. 9. Magnitude. 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 The great size or extent of something. Extent, size. Insignificance. 10. Passport. 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 An official document issued by a government, certifying the holder's identity and citizenship. Travel document, permit. NA 11. Pragmatist. 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 A person who is guided more by practical considerations than by ideals. Realist, utilitarian, idealist. 12. Prototype. 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 A first or preliminary model of something. Model, original, copy. 13. Repercussion. 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 An unintended consequence occurring after an event. Consequence, effect, cause. 14. Revelry. 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 Lively and noisy festivities. Festivity, celebration. Mourning. 15. Sham. 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 Something that is not what it is purported to be, a falsehood. Fake, fraud, truth. 16. Shroud. 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 A cloth in which a dead person is wrapped for burial. Cover, veil, expose. 17. Solemnity. 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 The state or quality of being serious and dignified. Seriousness, gravity. Frivolity. 18. Tundra. 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 A vast, flat, treeless Arctic region with permanently frozen subsoil. Plain, expanse. Forest. 19. Vertex. 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 The highest point. The apex or summit. Apex, peak. Base. 20. Annotate. 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 To add notes to a text or diagram. Comment, note. Omit. 21. Avenge. 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 To inflict harm in return for an injury or wrong. Retaliate. Revenge. Forgive. 22. Coagulate. 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 To change to a solid or semi-solid state. Clot, thicken. Dissolve. 23. Embed. 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 To fix firmly and deeply in a surrounding mass. Implant. Fix. Remove. 24. Gloat. 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 To dwell on one's own success or another's misfortune with smugness. Relish, crow. Sympathize. 25. Hoodwink. 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 To deceive or trick someone. Deceive, dupe. Enlighten. 26. Impel. 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 To drive or urge someone to do something. Urge, drive. Restrain. 27. Mock. 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 To tease or laugh at in a scornful manner. Ridicule, deride, praise. 28. Ruminate. 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 To think deeply about something. Ponder, contemplate. Ignore. 29. Transform. 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 To make a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. convert, change, preserve. 30 veer, 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 to change direction suddenly, swerve, deviate, stay. 31 absolute, 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 not qualified or diminished in any way. Total, complete, total, partial. 32 anonymous, 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 not identified by name, of unknown name, unnamed, unidentified, known. 33 autocratic, 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 relating to a ruler with absolute power, dictatorial, despotic, democratic. 34 buoyant, 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 able to float or cheerful and optimistic, cheerful, lighthearted, depressed. 35 carnal, 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 relating to physical, especially sexual, needs and activities, sensual, fleshly, spiritual. 36 concomitant, 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 naturally accompanying or associated, associated, accompanying, unrelated. 37 cordial, 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 warm and friendly, friendly, affable, hostile. 38 cursory, 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 hasty and therefore not thorough, superficial, hasty, thorough. 39 disconcerting, 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 causing one to feel unsettled, unsettling, disturbing, comforting. 40 divine, 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 of or like God or God, godly, heavenly, earthly. 41 expository, 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 intended to explain or describe something, explanatory, descriptive, confusing. 42 hoary, 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 grayish white, old and trite, aged, ancient, young. 43 incorrigible, 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 not able to be corrected, improved, or reformed, unreformable, habitual, reformable. 44 limpid, 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 completely clear and transparent, clear, lucid, cloudy. 45 maniacal, 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 exhibiting extremely wild or violent behavior, mad, frenzied, come. 46 morbid, 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 having an abnormal interest in disturbing and unpleasant subjects, gloomy, grisly, cheerful. 47 precipitous, 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 dangerously high or steep, steep, sheer, gentle. 48 seismic, 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 relating to earthquakes or other vibrations of the earth, earthquake-related, tectonic, stable. 49 static, 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 lacking in movement, action or change, stationary, still, dynamic. 50 stellar, 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 exceptionally good, outstanding, excellent, outstanding, mediocre. Unit 251 accord, 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 agreement or harmony, agreement, consensus, disagreement. 52 aggressor, 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 a person or country that attacks another first, attacker, assailant, defender. 53 amnesia, 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 a partial or total loss of memory, memory loss, forgetfulness, recollection. 54 anesthetic, 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 a substance that induces insensitivity to pain, painkiller, sedative, stimulant. 55 apostate, 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 a person who renounces a religious or political belief, defector, deserter, loyalist. 56 codicil, 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 an addition or supplement that explains, modifies, or revokes a will or part of one, addendum, appendix, nullification. 57 diversity, 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 the state of being diverse, variety. Variety, multiplicity, uniformity. 58. Encroachment, 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 intrusion on a person's territory, rights, etc. Infringement, intrusion. Respect. 59. Eulogy, 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 a speech or writing in praise of a person or thing, especially someone who has died. Tribute, praise. Criticism. 60. Irreverence, 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 a lack of respect for people or things that are generally taken seriously. Disrespect, impiety. Reverence. 61. Legend, 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 a traditional story sometimes popularly regarded as historical but unauthenticated. Myth, tale, truth. 62. Poignancy, 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 the quality of evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret. Pathos, sadness, cheerfulness. 63. Renown, 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 the condition of being known or talked about by many people. Fame, fame, reputation, obscurity. 64. Stipend, 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 a fixed regular sum paid as a salary or allowance. Allowance, salary. Debt. 65. Treatise, 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 a written work dealing formally and systematically with a subject. Essay, discourse. Summary. 66. Truism, 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 a statement that is obviously true and says nothing new or interesting. Platitude, cliché, original idea. 67. Abbreviate, 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 to shorten a word or phrase. Shorten, condense. Expand. 68. Assimilate, 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 to absorb and integrate. Absorb, incorporate. Reject. 69. Convene, 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 to call together for a meeting or activity. Assemble, gather. Adjourn. 70. Deign, 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 to do something that one considers to be beneath one's dignity. Condescend, stoop, refuse. 71. Diminish, 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 to make or become less. Decrease, reduce, increase. 72. Dislodge, 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 to knock or force out of position. Remove, displace. Anchor. 73. Doodle, 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 to scribble absent-mindedly. Scribble, sketch, draw carefully. 74. Explicate, 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 to analyze and develop in detail. Explain, clarify, confuse. 75. Fester, 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 to become worse or more intense, especially through long-term neglect. Decay, rot. Heal. 76. Obfuscate, 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 to make something obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Confuse, obscure, clarify. 77. Render, 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 to cause to be or become. Make, provide, deliver. Withhold. 78. Repel, 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 to drive or force back or away. Resist, repulse. Attract. 79. Shear, 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 to cut the wool off a sheep, or to cut something with force. Cut, clip, attach. 80. Stanch, 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 to stop the flow of blood or other liquid. Stop, stem, release. 81. Tantalize, 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 to torment or tease, with the sight of something desired but out of reach. Tease, torment, gratify. 82. Vaporize, 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 to convert into vapor. Evaporate, dissipate, condense. 83. Abominable, 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 causing moral revulsion. Detestable, loathsome, admirable. 84. Affable, 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 friendly, good-natured, or easy to talk to. amiable, genial, unfriendly, rude. 85. Averse, 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 having a strong dislike of or opposition to something. Opposed, reluctant, inclined. 86. Avid, 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 having or showing a keen interest in or enthusiasm for something. Eager, enthusiastic, apathetic. 87. Billowing, 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 swelling outward or surging, swelling, surging. Flat. 88. Controversial, 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 giving rise or likely to give rise to public disagreement. Contentious, debatable, uncontroversial. 89. Definitive, 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 conclusive and authoritative. Final, absolute, tentative. 90. Evocative, 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 bringing strong images, memories, or feelings to mind. Suggestive, reminiscent, uninspiring. 91. Exacting, 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 making great demands on one's skill, attention, or resources. Demanding, strict, easygoing. 92. Gauche, 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 lacking ease or grace. Socially awkward, awkward, tactless, graceful. 93. Grandiose, 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 impressive or magnificent in appearance or style, especially pretentiously so. Magnificent, pompous, modest. 94. Inexpensive, 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 not costing a lot of money. Cheap, affordable, expensive. 95. Mediocre, 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 of only average quality, not very good, average, ordinary, exceptional. 96. Ominous, 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 giving the impression that something bad is going to happen, threatening, foreboding, promising. 97. Peremptory, 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 insisting on immediate attention or obedience, authoritative, dictatorial, lenient. 98. Pithy, 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 concise and forcefully expressive, concise, succinct, wordy. 99. Ultimate, 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 being or happening at the end of a process. Final, final, eventual, initial. 100. Unctuous, 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 excessively flattering or insincere, oily, ingratiating, genuine. Unit 3. 101. Alimony, 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 money paid to a former spouse after divorce, spousal support, penalty. 102. Aptitude, 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 a natural ability to do something, talent, skill, inability. 103. Blasphemy, 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 speech or action showing disrespect for God or sacred things, sacrilege, irreverence, piety. 104. Catcall, 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 a loud whistle or comment of disapproval, jeer, boo, cheer. 105. Chagrin, 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 distress caused by disappointment or humiliation, embarrassment, annoyance, delight. 106. Declivity, 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 a downward slope, descent, slope, ascent. 107. Decorum, 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 proper behavior or conduct, propriety, etiquette, impropriety. 108. Disquiet, 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 a feeling of anxiety or unease, unease, worry. Come. 109. Ecclesiastic, 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 a priest or member of the clergy, clergyman, priest, layman. 110. Ennui, 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 boredom or dissatisfaction from lack of excitement, boredom, tedium, excitement. 111. Genre, 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 a category of artistic composition, category, type, non-classified. 112. Imposter, 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 one who pretends to be someone else. Fraud, pretender, genuine person. 113 mammal, 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 a warm-blooded vertebrate animal with hair or fur. Vertebrate, reptile. 114 motif, 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 a recurring theme or idea. Theme, pattern, deviation. 115 partisan, 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 a strong supporter of a party or cause. Supporter, advocate, opponent. 116 periphery, 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 the outer limits or edge. Border, edge. Center. 117 qualms, 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 feelings of doubt or worry. Doubts, misgivings. Confidence. 118 vigilance, 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 the action of keeping careful watch. Alertness, watchfulness. Negligence. 119 absolve, 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 to declare someone free from guilt. Pardon, exonerate, blame. 120 attenuate, 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 to reduce the force or value of. Weaken, diminish, strengthen. 121 beget, 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 to cause or bring about. Produce, generate, prevent. 122 beguile, 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 to charm or enchant deceptively. Charm, deceive, repel. 123 descry, 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 to catch sight of. Spot, detect, overlook. 124 erode, 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 to wear away gradually. Wear down, corrode, build. 125 mortify, 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 to cause embarrassment or shame. Embarrass, humiliate. Comfort. 126 nauseate, 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 to cause to feel sick or disgusted. Sicken, disgust. Delight. 127 obligate, 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 to bind legally or morally. Bind, compel. Free. 128 prevail, 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 to be victorious or widespread. Triumph, dominate. Lose. 129 repeal, 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 to revoke or annul a law. Revoke, rescind. Enact. 130 tether, 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 to tie or confine with a rope or chain. Tie, bind. Release. 131 celestial, 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 relating to the sky or heavens. Heavenly, divine. Terrestrial. 132 cherry, 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 cautiously or suspiciously reluctant. Wary, cautious. Careless. 133 circuitous, 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 longer than the most direct way. Roundabout, indirect, direct. 134 cognizant, 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 having knowledge or awareness. Aware, conscious. Ignorant. 135 enamored, 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 filled with love or admiration. Infatuated, smitten. Indifferent. 136 interminable, 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 endless or seemingly endless. Endless, perpetual, brief. 137 irrational, 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 not logical or reasonable. Illogical, unreasonable. Rational. 138 mannered, 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 having artificial manners. Affected, pretentious. Natural. 139 nefarious, 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 wicked or criminal. Evil, villainous. Virtuous. 140 peerless, 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 unequaled, unrivaled, incomparable, unmatched. Ordinary. 141 physiological, 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 relating to the body or its functions. Bodily, physical. psychological. 142 relevant, 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 closely connected or appropriate, pertinent, applicable, irrelevant. 143 savory, 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 pleasantly salty or spicy in flavor, tasty, flavorful, bland. 144 secretive, 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 inclined to secrecy, reserved, tight-lipped, open. 145 specious, 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 seemingly plausible but actually wrong, misleading, deceptive, genuine. 146 sporadic, 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 occurring irregularly, occasional, scattered, frequent. 147 steep, 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 having a sharp incline, sharp, abrupt, gradual. 148 tenacious, 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 holding firmly to something, persistent, determined, weak. 149 tortuous, 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 full of twists and turns, winding, twisting, straight. 150 venal, 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 open to bribery or corruption, corrupt, bribable, honest. Unit 4 151 acuity, 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 sharpness or keenness of thought, vision or hearing, sharpness, alertness, dullness. 152 centurion, 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 the commander of a century in the Roman army, commander, officer, civilian. 153 chicanery, 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 the use of trickery to achieve a political or legal purpose, deceit, trickery, honesty. 154 delusion, 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 a belief that is not true or is irrational, illusion, misconception, reality. 155 edict, 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 an official order or proclamation issued by an authority, decree, mandate, suggestion. 156 farce, 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 a comic dramatic work using buffoonery and horseplay, comedy, mockery, tragedy. 157 pantomime, 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 a dramatic entertainment where performers express meaning through gestures, mime, gesture, speech. 158 papyrus, 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 a material prepared from the pithy stem of a water plant, used in ancient times as paper, manuscript, scroll, modern paper. 159 phobia, 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 an extreme or irrational fear of something, fear, dread, calmness. 160 purveyor, 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 a person who sells or deals in particular goods, vendor, supplier, customer. 161 quip, 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 a witty or clever remark, joke, witticism, sermon. 162 scabbard, 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 a sheath for the blade of a sword or dagger, shet, holed, blade. 163 shard, 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 a piece of broken ceramic, metal, glass, or rock, fragment, splinter, hole. 164 trappings, 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 the outward signs, features, or objects associated with a role, adornments, decorations, essentials. 165 bolster, 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 to support or strengthen, reinforce, support, weaken. 166 bustle, 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 to move energetically and busily, scurry, hustle, dawdle. 167 circumvent, 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 to find a way around an obstacle or overcome by cleverness, evade, bypass, confront. 168 discredit, 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 to harm the good reputation of someone or something, dishonor, disgrace, honor. 169 glower, glower, glower. To have an angry or sullen look on one's face. Scowl, glare, smile. 170 hypothesize, hypothesize, hypothesize. To put forward a possible explanation based on limited evidence. Suppose, theorize, prove. 171 manipulate, manipulate, manipulate. To control or influence cleverly or unfairly. Control, influence, mismanage. 172 overreact, overreact, overreact. To respond more emotionally than is justified. Exaggerate, panic, remain calm. 173 snicker, snicker, snicker. To laugh in a half-suppressed, disrespectful manner. Giggle, chuckle, cry. 174 buy, buy, buy. To compete eagerly with someone to achieve something. Compete, contend, yield. 175 weather, weather, weather. To withstand or endure a difficult situation. Endure, survive, succumb. 176 altruistic, altruistic, altruistic. Showing a disinterested concern for others. Selfless, charitable, selfish. 177 barren, barren, barren. Too poor to produce much or any vegetation. Infertile, desolate, fertile. 178 blatant, blatant, blatant. Done openly and unashamedly. Obvious, flagrant, subtle. 179 burly, burly, burly. Large and strong, heavily built, brawny, muscular, slim. 180 defunct, defunct, defunct. No longer existing or functioning. Obsolete, dead, active. 181 dour, dour, dour. Relentlessly severe or gloomy in manner or appearance. Stern, gloomy, cheerful. 182 extrinsic, extrinsic, extrinsic. Not part of the essential nature of someone or something. External, foreign, intrinsic. 183 indicative, indicative, indicative. Serving as a sign or indication of something. Suggestive, symbolic, concealing. 184 inverse, inverse, inverse. Opposite in position, direction, or effect. Opposite, reverse, same. 185 lax, lax, lax. Not sufficiently strict or severe. Slack, negligent, strict. 186 ostentatious, ostentatious, ostentatious. Characterized by vulgar or pretentious display. Showy, flashy, modest. 187 paramount, paramount, paramount. More important than anything else. Supreme, chief, minor. 188 parochial, parochial, parochial. Having a limited or narrow outlook or scope. Narrow-minded. Provincial, cosmopolitan. 189 pious, pious, pious. Devoutly religious, devout, reverent, impious. 190 prodigal, prodigal, prodigal. Spending money or resources freely and recklessly. Wasteful, extravagant, frugal. 191 prostrate, prostrate, prostrate. Lying stretched out on the ground face downward. Prone, flat, upright. 192 punitive, punitive, punitive. Inflicting or intended as punishment. Penal, disciplinary, rewarding. 193 scurrilous, scurrilous, scurrilous. Making or spreading scandalous claims with the intention of damaging reputation. Abusive, defamatory, respectful. 194 slapdash, slapdash, slapdash. Done too hurriedly and carelessly. Hasty, careless, careful. 195 somber, somber, somber. Dark or dull in tone, gloomy, gloomy, solemn, cheerful. 196 stalwart, 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 loyal, reliable, and hardworking. Loyal, dependable, unreliable. 197. Succinct, succinct, succinct. Briefly and clearly expressed. Concise, terse, wordy. 198. Supercilious, supercilious, supercilious. Behaving as though one is superior to others. Arrogant, haughty, humble. 199. Unstinting, unstinting, unstinting. Given generously and without hesitation. Generous, lavish, stingy. 200. Winsome, winsome, winsome. Attractive or appealing in appearance or character. Charming, endearing, repulsive. Unit 5. 201. Accomplice, accomplice, accomplice. A person who helps another in a crime. Partner, accessory, opponent. 202. Amenities, amenities, amenities. Desirable or useful features of a place. Facilities, conveniences. Discomforts. 203. Anonymity, anonymity, anonymity. The condition of being anonymous. Namelessness, obscurity, recognition. 204. Brooch, brooch, brooch. A decorative jewelry item for clothing. Pin, ornament. NA 205. Choreography, choreography, choreography. The sequence of steps in a dance. Dance design, movement. NA 206. Discourse, discourse, discourse. Written or spoken communication. Discussion, dialogue. Silence. 207. Enmity, enmity, enmity. The state of being actively opposed to someone. Hostility, animosity. Friendship. 208. Incursion, incursion, incursion. An invasion or attack, especially a sudden one. Raid, invasion. Retreat. 209. Indices, indices, indices. Plural of index. Statistical measures. Indicators, signs. NA 210. Killjoy, killjoy, killjoy. A person who spoils the fun of others. Spoil sport, party pooper, celebrator. 211. Madrigal, madrigal, madrigal. A secular vocal music composition from the Renaissance. Song, part song. Chant. 212. Mutability, mutability, mutability. Liability or tendency to change. Changeability, variability. Constancy. 213. Nostalgia, nostalgia, nostalgia. A sentimental longing for the past. Yearning, reminiscence. Indifference. 214. Ovation, ovation, ovation. Sustained applause from an audience. Applause, acclaim. Booing. 215. Relic, relic, relic. An object surviving from the past. Artifact, remains. Modern item. 216. Sojourn, sojourn, sojourn. A temporary stay. Visit, stopover. Residence. 217. Turbulence, turbulence, turbulence. Violent or unsteady movement. Disturbance, agitation. Come. 218. Verve, verve, verve. Vigor and spirit or enthusiasm. Energy, enthusiasm. Apathy. 219. Attest, attest, attest. To provide evidence or proof of something. Confirm, verify, deny. 220. Betroth, betroth, betroth. To engage to be married. Engage, promise. Separate. 221. Clip, clip, clip. To cut or trim. Snip, trim. Attach. 222. Illicit, illicit, illicit. To draw out a response or reaction. Evoke, extract. Suppress. 223. Exploit, exploit, exploit. To make full use of or benefit from. Utilize, use. Neglect. 224. Foster, foster, foster. To encourage or promote. Nurture, support. Neglect. 225. postulate, 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 to assume or suggest as a basis for reasoning, assume, hypothesize, deny. 226, thrive, 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 to grow or develop vigorously, flourish, prosper, wither. 227, warrant, 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 to justify or necessitate, justify, authorize, refuse. 228, writhe, 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 to twist or squirm in pain or discomfort, squirm, twist, still. 229, affluent, 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 having a great deal of money or wealth, wealthy, prosperous, poor. 230, ambiguous, 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 open to more than one interpretation, unclear, vague, clear. 231, authoritative, 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 able to be trusted as accurate or true, reliable, commanding, uninformed. 232, body, 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 dealing with sexual matters in a comical way, lewd, indecent, modest. 233, chaste, 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 abstaining from extramarital relations, pure, modest, pure, promiscuous. 234, cynical, 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 believing people are motivated by self-interest, skeptical, distrustful, trusting. 235, erratic, 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 not even or regular in pattern, unpredictable, inconsistent, consistent. 236, exigent, 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 requiring immediate action or attention, urgent, pressing, trivial. 237, fell, 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 fierce, cruel or deadly, savage, brutal, gentle. 238, festive, 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 cheerful and celebratory, joyful, merry, gloomy. 239, ingenious, 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 clever and inventive, creative, resourceful, unimaginative. 240, intangible, 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 unable to be touched or grasped, impalpable, abstract, tangible. 241, irreconcilable, 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 impossible to reconcile or bring into agreement, incompatible, clashing, compatible. 242, kinetic, 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 relating to motion, dynamic, active, static. 243, outspoken, 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 frank in stating one's opinions, blunt, direct, reserved. 244, piquant, 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 pleasantly stimulating or exciting to the mind or taste, spicy, intriguing, bland. 245, rousing, 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 exciting and energetic, stimulating, inspiring, boring. 246, superficial, 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 concerned only with the surface, shallow, trivial, deep. 247, tentative, 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 not certain or fixed, provisional, hesitant, uncertain, definite. 248, unsightly, 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 unpleasant to look at, ugly, unattractive, attractive. 249, virile, 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 having qualities traditionally associated with masculinity, manly, strong, weak. 250, unerringly, 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 in a way that is always accurate or correct, faultlessly, precisely, incorrectly. Unit 6, 251, allegory, 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 a story that reveals a hidden meaning, parable, fable, literalism. 252, array, 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 an impressive display or range of something, collection, arrangement, individual. 253, atavism, 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 reappearance of ancestral traits, reversion, throwback, progress. 254 blunder, 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 a careless mistake, error, mistake, accuracy. 255 forum, 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 a meeting place for discussion, assembly, conference, isolation. 256 galaxy, 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 a large system of stars and planets, star system, cosmos. NA. 257 hierarchy, 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 a system where people are ranked, order, ranking, equality. 258 incidence, 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 the occurrence rate of something, frequency, rate, rarity. 259 indiscretion, 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 lack of good judgment or care, error, misjudgment, prudence. 260 jingoist, 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 a person who strongly supports their country aggressively, nationalist, chauvinist, pacifist. 261 miasma, 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 a highly unpleasant atmosphere or influence, stench, pollution, freshness. 262 platitude, 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 a remark that is overused and uninteresting, cliché, banality, originality. 263 pomposity, 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 self-important behavior, arrogance, pretension, humility. 264 preamble, 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 an introductory statement, introduction, prologue, conclusion. 265 quirk, 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 a peculiar behavioral habit, idiosyncrasy, trait, normality. 266 serenity, 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 the state of being calm and peaceful, peace, tranquility, chaos. 267 synthesis, 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 the combination of components to form a whole, blend, fusion, separation. 268 verisimilitude, 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 the appearance of being true or real, realism, authenticity, falseness. 269 wake, 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 a trail left by a moving object or event, aftermath, trail, cause. 270 your, a time long past, olden days, past, present. 271 address, 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 to speak to or deal with, tackle, respond, neglect. 272 ascertain, 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 to find out for certain, determine, discover, ignore. 273 buffet, 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 to strike repeatedly and violently, pound, batter, caress. 274 compress, 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 to flatten by pressure, squeeze, condense, expand. 275 excoriate, 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 to criticize severely, denounce, condemn, praise. 276 grouse, 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 to complain pettily, grumble, whine, praise. 277 jabber, 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 to talk rapidly and excitedly, chatter, babble, be silent. 278 redress, 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 to set right, remedy, rectify, correct, worsen. 279 relent, 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 to become less severe or intense, yield, soften, persist. 280 salvage, 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 to rescue or recover something, save, recover, abandon. 281 slight, 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 to insult by treating without respect, snub, insult, respect. 282 squat, 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 to crouch or sit with knees bent, crouch, hunker, stunt. 283 stipulate, 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 To demand or specify condition. Require, specify. Wave. 284. Swathe. 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 To wrap in layers of fabric. Wrap, enclose. Uncover. 285. Askew. 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 Not in a straight or level position. Crooked. Tilted. Straight. 286. Bristling. 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 Aggressively tense or defensive. Seething, tense. Come. 287. Directed. 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 Managed or guided by instructions. Guided, supervised. Aimless. 288. Feasible. 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 Possible to do easily or conveniently. Practical, achievable. Impractical. 289. Insidious. 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 Proceeding in a gradual but harmful way. Treacherous. Stealthy. Harmless. 290. Neutral. 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 Not taking sides in a conflict. Impartial, unbiased. Biased. 291. Persistent. 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 Continuing firmly despite difficulty. Determined, tenacious. Fickle. 292. Pertinent. 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 Relevant or applicable to the matter. Relevant, appropriate. Irrelevant. 293. Presumptuous. 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 Failing to observe limits of appropriate behavior. Arrogant, forward. Humble. 294. Salient. 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 Most noticeable or important. Prominent, significant. Unimportant. 295. Seemly. 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 Conforming to standards of propriety. Proper. Decent. Improper. 296. Sordid. 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 Involving moral distaste or contempt. Dirty, vile. Honorable. 297. Sovereign. 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 Possessing supreme power. Autonomous. Supreme. Subordinate. 298. Tenable. 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 Able to be maintained or defended. Defensible. Supportable. Indefensible. 299. Terrestrial. 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 Relating to the earth. Earthly, worldly. Celestial. 300. Unwieldy. 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 Difficult to carry or manage due to size or shape. Bulky, cumbersome. Manageable. Unit 7. 301. Alacrity. 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 Brisk and cheerful readiness. Eagerness, willingness. Reluctance. 302. Anchor. 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 A heavy object used to moor a vessel. Moor, support. Drift. 303. Aphorism. 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 A concise statement of a general truth. Saying maxim. Long-winded explanation. 304. Asylum. 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 Protection granted to someone fleeing danger. Sanctuary, refuge. Danger. 305. Collaboration. 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 The action of working with someone to produce something. Cooperation, teamwork. Isolation. 306. Concession. 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 A thing that is granted in response to demands. Compromise, allowance. Denial. 307. Exuberance. 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 The quality of being full of energy. Enthusiasm, joy. Gloom. 308. Formality. 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 The rigid observance of rules. Ceremony, convention. Informality. 309. Malfeasance. 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 Wrongdoing by a public official. Misconduct, wrongdoing. Integrity. 310. Mortician. 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 A person who prepares bodies for burial. Undertaker, embalmer. NA 311. Neutrality. Neutrality. Neutrality, the state of not supporting either side in a conflict. Impartiality, objectivity. Bias. 312, parable. Parable, parable, a simple story used to illustrate a moral lesson. Fable, allegory. History. 313, prolixity. Prolixity, prolixity, tendency to speak or write at great length. Verbosity, wordiness. Conciseness. 314, reaper. Reaper, reaper, a person or machine that harvests crops. Harvester, cutter. Planter. 315, retinue. Retinue, retinue, a group of advisors or assistants accompanying an important person. Entourage, staff. Individual. 316, retribution. Retribution, retribution, punishment for wrongdoing. Vengeance, justice. Forgiveness. 317, stigma. Stigma, stigma, a mark of disgrace. Shame, disgrace. Honor. 318, tranquility. Tranquility, tranquility, the state of being calm and peaceful. Peace, serenity. Chaos. 319, trepidation. Trepidation, trepidation, a feeling of fear about something that may happen. Fear, anxiety. Confidence. 320, abrade. Abrade, abrade, to scrape or wear away. Erode, wear down. Polish. 321, acquire. Acquire, acquire, to buy or obtain for oneself. Gain, obtain. Lose. 322, chisel. Chisel, chisel, to carve or shape with a chisel. Carve, sculpt. Flatten. 323, consign. Consign, consign, to deliver something to a person's custody. Entrust, assign. Withhold. 324, disseminate. Disseminate, disseminate, to spread widely. Distribute, broadcast. Withhold. 325, encourage. Encourage, encourage, to give support or confidence. Motivate, inspire. Discourage. 326, quench. Quench, quench, to satisfy thirst or extinguish. Extinguish, satisfy. Ignite. 327, saunter. Saunter, saunter, to walk in a slow, relaxed manner. Stroll, amble. Rush. 328, shun. Shun, shun, to persistently avoid, ignore or reject. Avoid, evade. Seek. 329, strew. Strew, strew, to scatter or spread things untidily. Scatter, sprinkle. Gather. 330, unravel. Unravel, unravel, to undo or explain something complicated. Untangle, solve. Tangle. 331, abrasive. Abrasive, abrasive, harsh or rough in manner. Causing irritation. Harsh, grating. Gentle. 332, abstruse. Abstruse, abstruse, difficult to understand. Obscure, complex. Clear. 333, anthropoid. Anthropoid, anthropoid, resembling a human being in form. Human-like, man-like. Inhuman. 334, anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic, anthropomorphic, described or thought of as having human form or traits. Human-like, personified. Inhuman. 335, commensurate. Commensurate, commensurate, corresponding in size or degree. Proportionate, equal. Disproportionate. 336, conventional. Conventional, conventional, based on or in accordance with what is generally done or believed. Traditional, standard. Unorthodox. 337, discordant. Discordant, discordant, disagreeing or incongruous. Conflicting, clashing. Harmonious. 338, exorbitant. Exorbitant, exorbitant, unreasonably high in price or amount. Excessive, outrageous. Reasonable. 339, generic. generic, generic, characteristic of or relating to a class or group, general, common, specific. 340, humdrum, 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 lacking excitement or variety, monotonous, dull, exciting. 341, impenetrable, 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 impossible to pass through or understand, unpassable, incomprehensible, clear. 342, inert, 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 lacking the ability or strength to move, motionless, inactive, active. 343, infallible, 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 incapable of making mistakes or being wrong, unerring, flawless, fallible. 344, monetary, 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 relating to money or currency, financial, fiscal, non-financial. 345, provident, 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 making or indicative of timely preparation for the future, prudent, frugal, imprudent. 346, retentive, 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 able to retain or remember information, recollective, absorptive, forgetful. 347, striated, 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 marked with stripes or grooves, grooved, striped, smooth. 348, surly, 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 bad-tempered and unfriendly, grumpy, rude, cheerful. 349, unpredictable, 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 not able to be predicted, uncertain, erratic, predictable. 350, inadvertently, 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 without intention, accidentally, unintentionally, mistakenly, deliberately.